Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Jocelyn Williamson, and I am the instructor for this course, and I wanted to welcome you to the class. This is just a real quick who I am. I'll talk about a few things related to the class, and it'll be done. So my name is Jocelyn Williamson. I've been with American Intercontinental University now for a few years, and I've really enjoyed it. I have educationally speaking, I have an undergraduate degree in political science. I have an MBA with a specialization both in management and marketing. And I worked as a marketer and have been working as a marketer for years. I worked initially in Japan, where I went there to teach, but I ended up also working for a publishing company where I was involved with advertising and promotion and sales for the company. I then went to Northern Cyprus, which is a little island off the coast of Turkey. And I was there for 3 years, and I was an international marketing coordinator. And during that time, I got my MBA. And when I came back to Florida because my family's here, and wanted to be near them at the time, and still am. and so I settled in Central Florida, and I worked as a program manager and a marketer for years out of an office here in Central Florida. I've since moved into more of a digital platform, and I do work with clients with search engine optimization and digital marketing strategies as well. So that's kind of who I am educationally speaking. I grew up all over. My parents moved 18 times the first 18 years of my life. We were my parents were young and they didn't know what they wanted to do yet. And so they moved around. My mother is a retired public high school teacher. My father did nonprofit fundraising, so he would work for companies, or not companies, but actually nonprofit organizations such as the American Diabetes Association, Habitat for Humanity, and things like that. And that's where his career ended up. And I'm married, and I have a son who is 19 and attending community college and working full time. And that's kind of on the personal level. And interest-wise, I love to hike, be outdoors. I will say during the pandemic, I got into some serious cooking. I like all things science fiction and fantasy, as far as, film and, going and, binging, things like that. And so that's kind of who I am in a nutshell. I want to talk a little bit about the class. And so I'm going to share my screen and let you see the platform as I see it, and talk to you a little bit about what's going on with the classroom in case you haven't looked at it. So now you should be seeing the classroom, and you should, when you open up the class, it's going to look something like this. You're going to, let me see if I can get a pointer. Mouse highlight. All right, so you can see here's course home, grade book, meeting times, roster, syllabus. Those are things that you should see at the top of the page. Perhaps you don't see all of them quite the same way, but that's pretty much what it looks like. Up at the very, very top, you see more information up at the top. I strongly encourage you to take a look at the Learning Center and tutoring. If you feel like you're going to need any help with anything, those resources are there because your tuition is paid for it. So do not hesitate to use any of those resources. All right, so when we look at the unit itself, and apparently it's now, let me turn off drawing. All right, so if we apparently not click, but let me just, yeah. Okay, so as we see in this, we have an introduction, and then you have learning activities. Learning activities that you should be focusing on, obviously all of them, but with that in mind, you have the syllabus and announcements where things are going to be happening. You have the text that you should be reading with each unit, okay, located on 2B right here. We also see that there is Muse. Muse is specifically built for this class and is there to provide some resources, as well as additional strategy, additional resources here at the bottom. All of this is to help you complete the assignments as best you can. It's just a tool to help you do the best you can in this class and to have everything in one place. So you don't have to do a ton of outside research. You will for your paper, but not for anything else. For this week, you can see that we have an IntelliPath assignment, and we have, let me get my little drawing tool. So you have IntelliPath, which is right here, and I'll click on that in a moment. And then you have the discussion board, okay? So you have 2 assignments that you're seeing for this particular unit. This is going to be the same for each and every unit. You will have IntelliPath and a discussion board. And now IntelliPath is, as you may notice, 130 points, okay? 130 points. So that's pretty serious points that you need to be focused on doing. Understand that IntelliPath is something that you control the grade of. So what do we do with IntelliPath? I'm going to walk you through that a little bit. So when you open IntelliPath, I'm trying to turn off this drawing tool, sorry. You click on IntelliPath, a new window will open. You can see that there is resources here available on how to get started, completing the lesson, understanding all of this. So you're going to click on that link. It's going to launch, or you can launch it on your mobile device. You then work on the lessons for the current objective, right? So you're going to land in the current objective for your weekly assignment. Your lessons are going to appear in order. Lessons with the learn buttons are ready for you to work on, right? You want to click on the lesson with the learn button. When you see lessons that are locked, that means it's unavailable until you've completed something ahead of time. To save your work, which you must do. Sometimes something happens and you got to stop all of a sudden, right? Do not skip hitting save. You don't want to not save your work. So you got to save it. And you need to work on completing all of the lessons. Now, this is self-paced. I will say, though, that the students who spend the most time, particularly in the beginning, because you will get faster at this the more you do it, are getting the best scores on this. And what you're going to see is that there are color coding for how well you've done. Dark green means that you have mastered the unit. Light green means you're doing really, really well. And as long as you're in the greens, you should probably feel pretty good about everything. I am going to be submitting revisions to you for some of the units because I don't want to overwhelm you, but anything that's red or orange may receive that. When you can choose a revise once you're finished with all of the lessons for the unit, right? And choosing the revise is going to be a variation on the same unit, same stuff. And this is going to allow you to get improvement points and improve the grade. And you want to start by focusing on the ones that you got red in. And then you want to do the ones that you got orange in and go from there. If you want to continue working on or revising a lesson from a previous unit or objective in IntelliPath, click on the course name in the upper left-hand corner, then click on the unit that you want. This is all laid out with screenshots here in this course. I strongly encourage you to jump into IntelliPath and start getting your feet wet, so to speak, if you haven't done that before. I'm gonna close that window. And my little pointers aren't going away. All right, so you have unit 1, unit 2, very much the same sort of layout. We've got an introduction, we've got things to read, things to look at. What's different in Unit 2 is we are going to have 2 paragraphs of writing that is going to be due. This is in addition to IntelliPath and your discussion board, just 2 paragraphs. This is worth 50 points, and you're going to have that for 3 weeks. And so that is 15% of your grade. So don't ignore the 2 paragraphs that are due pretty much for 3 weeks. Just write something. I allow revisions in this class, so just take your time. When the time comes, I'm going to give you more information about this, but don't stress over it as much as getting it done. Getting it done is first. After you get it done, you can work on revising it. And with that, I'm going to stop. I wanted to give you just a quick walkthrough. The point to me introducing you to these concepts is I really want you to be proactive about your IntelliPath work. It seems like a really easy area for students to spend time, if you're in the car as a passenger, if you're commuting to work as a passenger, work on IntelliPath. If you are having downtime while you're waiting in an office, you can work on your IntelliPath. IntelliPath is going to get better and better the more you work on it. I will say that if you can work on it on a slightly bigger screen, like a pad or a small laptop, it is a little easier just because you can see a bigger screen. But either way, jump in, get started with IntelliPath. The discussion board for this week is pretty straightforward. I've already put a brief introduction in there. I'm already seeing some students get in there and reply. So don't hesitate to go in and post your comment. You're just going to be talking about a company that you think has done a good job with its marketing, and talk about how the company has created value for itself and created value for customers. That's the discussion board. All right, I'm going to stop there. Have a great day. And I'll see you on the discussion boards. Let me know if you have any questions too, of course. Send me a message through AIU Messenger, and I will do my best to get back to you as quickly as possible. Thanks.